through things here.
Well, Chad, first off, the June live cattle just made a new low on the day here, 195.60 here just before we started the broadcast here. And the feeder cattle are pushing on their lows today as well, too, with the August feeder cattle with a low of 280.37. They just made a low here of that just a second or two ago. Here we're at 280.60 right now. So we are seeing a little bit of sell pressure here in this cattle complex after yesterday's rally on the news that there was going to be a pause on tariffs on everybody but China. Coincidentally, this morning there was another headline put out here that there's going to be another raise. They're going to raise tariffs to China now to 145%. So, folks, it's headline to headline right now. But what I do know is there's some cash that's getting traded out there in the countryside. We've got a lot of 208 bid, a lot of 328 bid on address basis right now. A lot of those numbers have been trading here, and they've been trading some numbers with it there, too, as well. So it's going to be very interesting how we close up the week here tomorrow afternoon and how we start out next week here. It looks like, to me, cash is going to be lower this week and probably going to be steady at best next week, the way things are sounding so far. Now, the weights did just come out here before the broadcast. We got all grades cattle here, or all live cattle here, up 2 pounds here at 1,432 pounds versus 1,430 pounds. On the dress steer basis, we're down 6 pounds to 944 pounds versus 950 the previous week. But heifers, they made that up here. We were 870 the previous week. We're at 876 this week. So we are still making some big cattle out there, folks. And I think that's due a lot and largely to the replacement cost of cattle.
All right, thank you much. Livestock market analyst Kyle Bumsted on today's program. Call him at 308-708-7340. Do remember, trading of commodity futures and options does involve substantial risk of loss, might not be suitable for all investors. This is the Rural Radio Network.
When it comes to fungicides, there's only one way to spell yield. N-E-O. Miravis Neo is the 2024 #1 retailer recommended corn fungicide for a reason. It dominates spots, rots, blights, and stress to out-yield competitive brands like Veltima. And there's 6 years of university data to prove it. Ask your Syngenta retailer about using Miravis Neo for more yield more often. Based on 2024 Spreadis retailer efficacy study. Always read and follow label instructions.
If you're up at the crack of dawn, so is the Rural Radio Network with ag news and market information.
I'm Bryce Duskett with this check of agriculture news.
Or if you're more alert in the afternoon, the Rural Radio Network has all of the important news to let you know what is happening in agriculture and in the markets.
Good afternoon. I'm Alex McAfee joining you with this check of agriculture news.
When you want the best in agriculture, follow, like, and listen to the Rural Radio Network.
This is a market update. I'm Bruce Gorder on the Rural Radio Network. Wheat producers are looking at some concerning weather in the U.S. It remains to be seen the amount of damage that may have resulted from the flooding rain that impacted possibly up to 30% of the soft red winter wheat areas earlier in the week. On the other side, it is extremely dry and warm in the southern plains hard red winter wheat areas, and conditions are likely to slip further. Supportive to wheat also is the continued slide of the U.S. dollar index, which is just inches away from matching the recent low tick. Obviously, the recent purge in U.S. equities markets may not have run its course yet, with the markets setting back early today following the dynamic tariff-induced rally that began midday yesterday. May corn is currently up 5 3/4 at 479.5. July up 4 at 484.5. May soybeans up 10.5 at 1023. July up 8.5 at 1031 3/4. May wheat in Chicago 6.5 cents lower at 535 3/4. May wheat in Kansas City down 8.5 at 559.5. May wheat in Minneapolis 4 3/4 lower at 604. On the Mercantile Exchange, June live cattle down 275 at 195.62. August down 222 at 192.77. May feeder cattle down 225 at 275.95. August down 267 at 280.57. May lean hogs up 60 cents at 86.72. The June contract up 97 at 92.67. Class 3 milk for May is up 10 cents at 17.49. You're listening to the Rural Radio Network.